Hi, Ross here for First Line Distribution, and today we're going to take a deep dive into the Sprout Modulation by Klowra. The Sprout Modulation is part of the Bloom Infinity series and is a stereo pedal that gives you 9 distinct modulation effects. Everything from classic chorus and vibe to futuristic evolving textures. It's built on high quality algorithms with an open parameter design, which means it feels super responsive and musical. And like all pedals in this series, you also get Klowra's ramp function, tap tempo, stereo flexibility, and full expression control. Basically, it's designed to keep your sound moving and evolving. Now let's have a look at some of the features that you get. Like all Bloom Infinity series pedals, you get the unique hand-painted silkscreen artwork. There are 9 studio modulation types covering everything from vintage-inspired sounds to modern creative effects. There's tap tempo with rhythmic subdivisions to lock modulation to your groove. The ramp function lets you morph between 2 sets of parameters in real time. Expression pedal and external foot switch support for hands-free control. Analog drive-through for a clean, uncolored core tone. There's multiple stereo output options including wet-dry split, switchable true or buffered bypass with trails, and premium DSP processing with a rugged aluminium construction. Control-wise, there are 5 main controls: rate for modulation speed, depth for intensity, mix for blending dry and wet signal, and you could even choose between 2 mixing styles, texture, which changes behavior depending on the effect, sometimes it adds feedback, sometimes stereo spread, sometimes resonance, and tone to brighten or darken the wet signal. And of course the modulation select knob, which lets you choose between the 9 modes. So let's have a look at those and see what they offer. Vibe is based on the classic LDR style circuits with sweep and feedback control. Chorus is BBD inspired with vintage wobble and drift. Multi-chorus is 3 layers of chorus for huge organic movement. Flanger for warm tape-like swirl to metallic sweeps. Filter gives you resonant style sweeps for bold textures. The phaser is a vintage 6-stage phaser with rich resonance. Rotary recreates the movement of a rotary speaker. Tremolo is smooth triangle wave tremolo, great for rhythmic chops. A rig mod gives you the futuristic self-modulating textures. Every mode has its own personality, and the texture knob lets you dig in even deeper. Now, like all Bloom Infinity series pedals, the LED is a really important part. It doesn't just tell you that the pedal is on or off, it gives you visual feedback as to which mode you're in. So let's have a look at what the colours represent. When the LED is white, you're in normal operation and tap tempo is ready. When it's blue, tap tempo is actively being tapped in. Orange means the ramp function is armed, and when it shifts to violet, ramp is actively running. The LED also gives you visual feedback when you're adjusting hidden parameters like ramp attack and release times, or when you're saving your snap set. Once you get the hang of the color codes, it becomes super intuitive and you know exactly what the pedal's doing at a glance. For the more expressive features, you have tap tempo and ramp. Tap tempo is simple. Just hold the switch until the LED turns blue, then tap in your rate. You can also set subdivisions like quarter notes, dotted eighths, or triplets. Ramp is where it gets really expressive. You can save two sets of parameters, the front panel and the hidden snap set, and then fade between them. The LED will glow orange and violet to show you what's happening. Attack and release times define how quickly the pedal moves between these two states. You can use ramp in momentary mode for quick swells, or latched mode for longer transitions. Connectivity-wise, you have stereo ins and outs with a few different routing options. You can run standard stereo or split your dry and wet signals for creative setups. There's also a control jack for an expression pedal or an external foot switch, which can take over ramp, tap tempo, or parameter sweeps. So as you can see and hear, the Sprout modulation doesn't just cover classic modulation sounds, it can push you into new creative territory. With tools like ramp, tap tempo, and the Klowra LED control system, you can go for subtle movement, lush stereo textures, or experimental modulation. The Sprout really opens the door to endless possibilities. I've done deep dive videos into each of the pedals in the Bloom Infinity series, so go and check those out. Let us know which one's your favourite. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers!